What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about my first real significant experience with overeating, or some may say binging, during this 2016 natural bodybuilding competition preparation. That's a long one. My overeating, or this binge that I experienced, is a highly physiological one, meaning not so much a mental, emotional thing, but really driven by physiological needs, such as more body fat needed on my body. And it's something that I'm going through. It's something that people go through when they diet down to, or try to get to extreme levels of leanness. The conversation of binging, the conversation of eating disorders and stuff like that, it's a serious conversation to be had. But for this video, it's not necessarily applicable, as I don't have an eating disorder. And I'm sure many people might think that this is an eating disorder, but really in this situation, it's not. Granted, that said, I know a lot of people are going through eating disorders, and although this video may not be very helpful to you, since I'm an extreme case, and for me it's very physiological in terms of the 1-2 days that I overate that I'm about to explain, maybe you can get something away from this, or at least I may give you some tips later on. But like I said, this video is going to make most sense to those trying to compete, trying to get on a bikini stage, bodybuilding stage, stuff like that. And also, I just want to share with you guys my experience. So let's get right into it, right? So what happened? Start with that. I think it was like last Friday, the March 24th and 25th, there were 2 consecutive days of really high level overeating. The first day was probably, I'm not really sure to be honest, 5 to 1,000 calories over. And then the second day could have been anywhere between, I'm not really sure to be honest, could have anywhere between 1,000 to 2,500 over. It wasn't something that I planned. It wasn't something that I was really tracking, etc. And in fact, I have not really been tracking much of anything in terms of the diet lately, as this non-tracking method had been working extremely well for me. I had, not that I've not been tracking, but I've been mentally tracking, or actually tracking macros since 2011. So I've gained quite a bit of experience, and I actually got to this year, 166-ish, 165-ish, or 167-ish pounds body weight, and practically shredded. In fact, better than I'd ever looked in 2013 or 2011. I got into that point with extremely flexible macro tracking, in terms of some days I wouldn't necessarily even have to pre-plan it. I could just go by the flow. Some days I wouldn't even have to weigh things. I already knew, how much food weighed what, etc., or how much food looked like what. And I got to myself over the course of like 12 to 15 weeks, basically at a stage that would win natural bodybuilding competition overalls, basically, now that I look back at it. So I had gotten myself there pretty easily, pretty efficiently, quickly as well. And of course, hormonally, there's a drawback to getting lean. Libido goes down, irritability goes up, lots of other hormones get kind of out of whack. Now, I'd actually been going up in body weight unintentionally, just because my hunger was going up, and I was still in this looseness, this flexibility, this over flexibility at that point, where I needed to be a little bit more strict, because not only with the dieting and going lower in body fat and hunger levels increasing, I've had a lot of increased, not to get voodoo on you guys or anything, a lot of increased consciousness lately. I've been disidentifying with bodybuilding as a bodybuilder or as a fitness person more and more every day, applying less labels to myself. So in some ways, it's weird because it feels like I have nothing. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Obviously, I want to give value to you guys. And it's funny because as I get closer to the bodybuilding show, it's like I don't need it. It's not a part of me. It doesn't make me who I am. It did in the past, 2011 to 13. It was like, I need this pro card. I need it. I want it. And it's funny because, like, sure, I mean, yeah, it would be cool. I'd like it. It wouldn't be a negative thing. But it's like I'm not identified to needing it to fulfill some sort of, mental construct of like, I must be a natural pro or else X, Y, and Z, or if I get this, then people will respect me more. Like, I'm pretty satisfied just being me. So combine that with increased level of hunger, hormones out of whack. The course of the 2 weeks even before leading up to this like binge day, you could say, I'd kind of leveled off in terms of the getting leaner. And in fact, there were some days I was a little bit above maintenance in terms of calories, and my weight had been going up just slightly, a little bit closer to the 170s. Also with increased food bulk and more sodium, because I've been eating pickles and pepperoncinis like crazy, but getting a little off topic there. The binge, I guess, occurred on the 24th of March. Was the first day. Like I said, it wasn't too hardcore. My mental state, you could say, has been changing, as you guys can tell. If you guys have been going over my Instagram posts and follow me on Snapchat, you know that. Not that I've been changing, but I guess I've been realizing more of who I am. Don't want to get too crazy sounding, so I won't really get too much more into that. But on that Thursday, I went to the mall with Megan. I ate out at this like tri-tip place. Ate out a little bit extra here, a little bit extra there. It didn't seem too crazy at all. Especially with this mindset that like, I'm 3 or whatever weeks out, 3 to 4 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out, and like I'm already stage ready practically. I just kind of have to chill here for 1 or 2 more weeks and then just kind of like dig a little bit in that last week. And that's kind of been the mentality as soon as I got to 6 weeks out. I was like, holy shit. Or 6 or 5 weeks out. I think you guys remember that. I was like, guys, I reached my final form. Like, and it was funny because I just said that. But now that I look back, I had reached the final form. Like, I could have stepped on quite the majority of like natural bodybuilding stages and took overalls in terms of amateur. Obviously, at the pro level, that's just insane. And of course, there's many great amateurs out there. But I'm not saying I'd win any show, but the level of conditioning I'd gotten to, and even still at right now, it's quite pro-worthy from an objective standpoint. So, yeah, we had that day of overeating on the 24th that really, what's funny is there was no guilt, and there still is no guilt, there's no blame. But I'm going to get to the lighter side of this that maybe you guys will be able to identify more with. So we had that high eating day on the 24th, but then on the 25th was when shit got real crazy, because that was the day that Superman vs. Batman came out. And we had booked tickets in advance like a month ago to go see it at, or no, wait. Yeah, that was that day. So it came out on the Friday of the March 25th. Megan and I went and watched Batman Superman at Rockland Studio Grill, which is like, you sit in these really comfy chairs and they serve you food. So I ordered what did I get? I got this like chicken and rice meal, which it seemed really low fat. Just like a typical chicken and rice bodybuilder kind of meal with roasted vegetables in it too. And I also ordered popcorn, which they ended up coming out with like there was a lot of fat on it. And that morning, you know, I had my kale shake, I had rice cakes post-workout, I think, maybe not. But then I had that meal plus the popcorn, right guys? Plus I had ordered sweet potato fries, and plus I knew that I was gonna eat a little bit of Megan's salad. Now, had they actually brought out popcorn that wasn't loaded in butter, that probably would have been around my 2750 calories, maybe a little bit over, depending on how much popcorn I ate, right? So had I left it at that, it would have been 2750 calories if I ate maybe my share of popcorn. Megan ended up not eating barely any popcorn. I ate all the damn popcorn, and it was a pretty big amount. So that right there put me over about 500 calories. And I was like, all right, I'm over. Today, this is like a refeed. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna, you know, stay good. And what's really funny is, like I've been telling you guys, I've really disidentified with needing to, it's really hard to explain. I'm just gonna keep going. So later on that evening, I was like, well, I do need some more protein, which was true, even if I was a bit over. But really, I should have just not. So I was like, I'm gonna have some Greek yogurt. So I'm making my Greek yogurt. Next thing you know, I'm adding in extra brownies, Fiber One brownies, which are only like 90 calories a piece. I'm adding extra brownies. I'm adding in extra these nature bars, those, you know, granola bars that you used to have when you took the SAT-9 tests and stuff like that, and AP tests to keep your energy up or whatever. I'm throwing one or two of those in, and I'm eating a ton of Greek yogurt, and that put me up right there. That was like a 750 calorie right there. So I'm over, you know, 1250 to 1500 just with that. And then I'm like, and this is the first time I'm doing the math because I really just haven't cared about it too much. So I'm doing the math, or now I'm doing the math, but I'm eating the Greek yogurt. Then I'm like, fuck it, man. A rice cake sounds good right now. So I reach over and I'm start snacking on these rice cakes. And I'm like, well, it's better that I eat these rice cakes than other things. I mean, and this is actually truth here. This is kind of a pro tip. Like when you really don't have all these like crazy high fat foods, high fat combination combined with carbs, like guys, there's a big difference between eating your heart out like after a show on rice cakes versus eating your heart out at BJ's on Pizookies. One will probably do a lot more damage to you in terms of fat gain than the other. And I guess the best thing, not that binging you should ever do, is the best thing to accidentally overeat on, just, you know, God forbid that happens, would be protein, like chicken and or salad, vegetables. So anyways, little pro tip. So anyway, I was just making sure this thing was on, right? Is it on? Good. This better be on. So I'm sitting there eating these rice cakes, finishing up my Greek yogurt, and mind you, it's already like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Around there. And typically my bedtime lately, I've been trying to aim for 9, but lately it's been kind of shifting around 10 to 11, sometimes 12. So it's really the time of I shouldn't be eating. And I'm just still eating there. I'm not really thinking about anything. I'm just eating these rice cakes, finishing my Greek yogurt like shit. There's really no thoughts. There was practically no thoughts going through my mind. There was no thoughts of guilt, no thoughts of like I shouldn't be doing this. There was quite a bit of negotiation, I guess you could say. Even before it, I was like, I'm fine. Like I'm already fucking shredded. I could practically eat at maintenance or even above at 3 weeks out, and then just kind of start digging at 2 weeks out, and then keep digging at 1 week out, and then just do the show and be good. But I just kept eating. Eating these rice cakes. And granted, I only had about 5 or whatever, which is just, you know, 11 carbs per. So that's 55 carbs times by 4. So a little bit over 200 calories, which is nothing. But at the same time eating these rice cakes, I was like, well, man, those kicks are really good. Kicks is like a children's cereal, basically. Megan loves them. they're in the pantry, and I'm just like, that sounds good, because they're like these honey flavor. So I start pouring bowls of Kix with some, almond milk, unsweetened, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just eating Kix, rice cakes, finishing up my Greek yogurt, and then I just keep on having bowls on bowls until I ran out of Kix. And granted, it wasn't the whole box. I'm not really sure what the macros were in terms of how much I ate. I wasn't weighing anything. It was probably like a quarter to half the box, I'd say, of Kix. So I probably had 2.5, maybe 3 bowls of Kix, I think. Maybe 2.5, maybe even 2. See, guys, I really don't even know. I was just pouring bowls of Kix, eating rice cakes, and I just kept eating and eating. And if I had to do the math, I probably ended the day at 2,500, anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 above where I was supposed to be. So, in other words, supposed to be around 2,750. I probably was somewhere around 5,000 calories for the day. Generally, that wouldn't be too bad if I was 190 pounds, Matt Ogus, on my 753 program, lifting big ass weights in the gym, where my current maintenance is way over here. But this is me, where my current maintenance is much lower, where I'm doing lots of cardio and I'm getting ready for a show. And 2 days of these surpluses, along with a week of practically at maintenance with several days above, really just was not good for my body composition. Oh my God, there's a squirrel right there. It's like watching me film. Hey buddy, what's up? So that was, I guess, the what. And I'm sorry it took me so long to explain that. I know I respect you guys' time. Wow, that squirrel's just moving around. So that's basically what happened. Now, why? Why did it happen? I guess when you get lean, that's just what happens physiologically. Your hunger, your hormones get in such a way that your body's like, yo, eat, bruh, eat. So that's what happened. That's the why that happened in terms of that. Of course, I had to make the decision to put the food to my mouth, but yeah, that's why it happened. I chose to eat. I chose to fulfill this physiological need that I couldn't really, there were no thoughts. It was just like, this feels right. So I think a lot of you guys who have competed before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't even necessarily like after a show where you're like, dude, yeah, I'm done. Woo! It was more just like this this disconnect with the end goal. And like I said, guys, I'm so relaxed and okay with, I guess, what happens and what is that I practically forgot that it's like my goal to get shredded or to stay shredded or whatever. But also remember, like I said, the last 2 weeks I had this like little negotiation in my mind that I was going to kind of dig harder during those last 2 weeks. So it definitely did wreak a little bit of havoc on the body composition. Granted, I ate lots of pickles and pepper cheese last night, so don't even worry about this. Like, look at the pictures on Instagram that I'm posting that I say are current to see where I'm currently at. The weight kind of jumped up quite a bit before the 2 days of overeating, 2 days of binge. I think the body weight was hovering around the 170-ish. And remember, guys, I got all the way down to like 167-ish. So it was hovering on 170-ish, and then it jumped up to hovering around anywhere between 175 to 176 at the most. And then it fluctuated up and down to the 172s, the 173s, 172s, 173s. That's kind of where I'm at right now. 172 was this morning. And that's even before I've really tightened the grip. Because like I said, I negotiated that, like, oh, this shit really doesn't even fucking matter. Which I kind of feel that way, but it's like I still have an end goal. And like I might as well I'm already this far. I might as well just dig. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm actually going to tighten things up. I'm actually going to hit these damn macros. It was really fun and crazy and awesome to just see how shredded I could get. I literally got more shredded than I've ever gotten, more flexibly, more relaxed, more mentally and emotionally healthy than I had ever done, which is crazy, crazy. Now, granted, I don't think in 2013, even though I ate Chipotle burritos every single day, I don't think in 2013 I ever really ate like this 3 weeks out or anything, even though my prep was super long. In 2011, I do remember, like, not really binging, but like overeating the shit out of rice cakes, driving down to Washington to do my show. I probably only ate like 5 to 10 extra rice cakes. So do the math. That's how much calories I ate, more than I should have. And I did fine. I mean, I won my class, but I didn't win the overall or whatever. In 2011, that was a long time ago. But yeah, it's 2016, and that's basically what happened in a really objective, like, here's the hard facts type shit kind of way. There's a big difference between this physiological contest prep, like, oh shit, kind of overeating binge, versus some of like the really, you know, clinically diagnosed type of eating disorders that a lot of people do go through, that I do want to say, you know, I don't want to act like this is a problem compared to that. I think that would be, I guess, disrespectful in a way. And also, it's like I'm doing this to myself in a very objective kind of way, whereas, not to say that people that go through real eating disorders don't have anything to do with it. Of course, everyone has something to do with everything that they're going through. It's really deep, it's really complex. But, you know, I chose to do this bodybuilding show, which is 2.5 weeks from now. And I actually had a really good point of clarity today, where I realized it's okay that I don't identify with being bodybuilder anymore, or I don't identify even with my body itself, or with like objects and like all these different things. And, you know, I still cling to, I'm not like completely conscious or anything. I'm not like freaking the Buddha or whatever, but like over time, I care less about the things that I clinged so hard to in the past. And I care more about just other things. And especially when it comes to who I am, my idea of being is a lot different than what it used to be. So, what else do I gotta say about this little binge? That's basically what happened, guys. Let me think if there's anything else I can cover without wasting, or without, you know, taking too much of your time. Oh, okay, so you're probably wondering, Matt, what are you doing to fix it? What are you doing to save yourself? So fortunately, you know, it happened just before the 3 weeks out mark. For me, I can lose fat pretty quickly. It's pretty crazy. And for these last 2 weeks, basically what I'm doing is I'm actually gonna up the HIIT. I kind of want to see what happens. I've been doing, you know, legs push pull off, repeat for like the entire prep basically. Not that it's significantly different because I'm keeping all the variables pretty much the same, but I'm basically going to be doing lower upper off, where I'm squatting lighter at the beginning of the week, squatting heavier at the end of the week, stiff leg deadlifting at the end of the week. And it's assorted, so it's basically practically the same thing as before, just evened out, split apart these 3 days instead of, you know, just 2 workouts. Does that make sense, guys? Because before there was 2 leg days, 2 push days, 2 pull days. Now there's 3 uppers and 3 lowers. I basically just took the same shit and just spread it out into fit those 2 different days. If you want to learn more about, I'm not sorry. If you want to learn more about training and the factors of training, read go to Oguspyramid.com and read the ebooks that you can buy there. You'll gain a greater understanding of training manipulation and programming. So basically that's just what I did. I just reprogrammed the volumes and the same shit over just a different split. If this doesn't make sense to you, you really need to read Ogus Pyramid. or the ebooks at oguspyramid.com. Affiliate disclaimer, I do get a commission from that. So what am I doing to, I guess, fix this? So I'm doing the lower upper, lower upper, lower upper off repeat for the 3-week out week, the 2-week out week, and the 1-week out week, which seems to fit perfectly because that's usually what I do on my peak weeks. I usually do like a lower upper, lower upper, lower upper, especially with that last lower upper being like just really circuity, like really nothing crazy in terms of intense. Intense meaning percentage of 1 rep max, especially. But even not that extremely crazy intense in terms of like effort. Definitely focusing on contraction and squeezing muscles and whatnot, but getting ahead of myself. I'll be doing HIIT on these last 2 weeks. I'll do it, especially on the 2-week out week, I'll do it 3 times. So on the evening of every leg day. I'll be doing cardio, 500 calorie sessions, 1 to 2 times. 1 to 2 times every other day that's not a leg day, including that off day. I might just do 1 cardio session on my off days, 2 cardio sessions on my upper days. So you can do the math and figure that out. So it's quite a bit of cardio sessions, to be completely honest. I mean, just looking at the 1-week out week, you know, I got it says, and this is all just tentative still, 1 cardio session on Sunday, 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. So like total per week, I'm doing quite a bit of cardio, or at least that's what I wrote for myself. But that plan over there that I'm pointing at didn't take into account that I'm actually going to lower some fucking macros this week and next week. Because I've been having like 2,750, 3,000 calories a day for a while now. Unintentionally in a way, because like I said, I haven't been completely being super accurate with a lot of the weight or a lot of the foods and stuff like that, just because being flexible had been working. But a bit unknowingly, I've been I've been asking Megan to make my bowls bigger and bigger in terms of my salads, throwing in more vegetables, which add up, especially the non-fibrous greeny ones. So things like even carrots, cherub tomatoes, mushrooms, they had been adding up. And instead of the 2,750 that I thought I was having, it could have been easily 2,850, 2,950, which could have blunted the fat loss despite adding in more cardio on a day-to-day basis, right? If I'm consuming more calories every day, even if I had that cardio session and it equals it out, I'm not going to experience fat loss. So what's cool is this, guys, like as you get deeper into more preps, more time understanding macros, there like is no questions. Like I have no fucking questions. It's crazy. In terms of, I know exactly why I'm gaining weight. I know exactly why I gained weight. I know exactly why I lost weight. Calories in, calories out. It all comes down to the application, the method of actually doing it. That's the hardest part, is figuring out the best way for you to do it without fucking yourself up and accidentally having 2 days straight where you overeat while watching Superman Batman. Oh, by the way, I didn't say what else happened at Superman Batman. My bad. Oh shit. It was worse than that. My bad. I'm gonna have to remember to make an annotation back when I was talking about that movie, because I didn't just eat a chicken bowl, sweet potato fries, popcorn, and finish 1/4 of Megan's salad. I ordered another chicken salad, which comes with dressing, which is probably 750 calories, 500 to 700 calories right there. And I ordered another it's probably 500 calories-ish, 600. I ordered another chicken and rice meal. I ordered 2 chicken and rice meals. I ate those for myself. I ate a whole salad myself. I practically ate a whole thing of popcorn. I ate a side of sweet potatoes. And I ate